China's a big place, and it has a big impact. So it always, and there are lots of things always to worry about. But let me describe it. If China is socially stable, then I think that it will have its undulations like we have our contractions and so on, and that we will feel the repercussions of that because China is now, in terms of its impact on the rest of the world, a significant impact. And it has an effect in terms of exports and imports. So I basically would expect that it will have a fluctuation that could take it down to a growth rate temporarily that might be 5 or 4%, which would be a big negative in China on that kind of a movement. And that I think that the controls are not smooth controls because the capital markets do not work as smoothly as ours, so that when you change gears, there are lags and it fluctuates. But I think that the power exists to then create that kind of shift and to move things up. That the social issues, it's a big place and a lot of moving parts, and it's a difficult place to manage. My understanding of the change in the leadership, we're going to move from 9 members of the Politburo to 7 members of the Standing Committee of the Politburo, and the strength of leadership is going to be much better. The movement, I think, toward reforms is going to, from everything I understand, is going to be much stronger. You're going to have stronger leadership, much more movement toward reforms, I think, which is good. I think that because there will be tensions in leadership whenever there's a leadership change and there's a new group of people who represent different vested interests, there will be those kinds of changes. I don't think it'll be disruptive, and I think that they can manage those swings well. I don't think it's going to go into a tailspin, anything like that. I would be surprised. Possible, but I don't think so. And so I think that it'll contribute to the volatility, but it won't be a bust.
What is your view of the U.S. economy right now?
That the U.S. economy is now doing what it can do sustainably for a very long time if taken in aggregate. That we have repaired. That we were through a car crash, and we destroyed our large parts of the system. We were in the intensive care unit, and that we have largely created a healing, that the credit markets have largely healed, gotten from unhealthy in 2007, which everybody thinks that a boom, oh, those were good old times, that was an unhealthy behavior, to paying a terrible consequence, to having readjusted and gotten healthy again. So we're healing, or we're largely healed, and we're now largely operating in a manner that for the most part is sustainable if we don't hit an air pocket and if we continue to have good monetary and fiscal policy.